Joining us, coming to the stage, is not Crooked Letter. It's the first lady of reviews, ladies and gentlemen. It's the big homie, Sharonda. How you feeling?
I'm hurt. I'm hurt.
Man, I'm glad I wore this shirt.
Right now, that's how I feel about this P-Valley finale. Okay, I am hurt.
That was heartbreaking. That was heartbreaking.
What in the world, man? We're going to get to that. We're going to get to
P-Valley. I wore
P-Valley.
this shirt. I didn't know that trouble was coming on with us.
Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Oh, my God. Here y'all go. So I want to ask each and every one of you two, and I'll start with Sharonda first. Give me your quick 2-minute synopsis of how you felt about the introduction of Power Book 2 first episode last night.
It was cool.
Okay. Well, damn. If she's gonna leave it at that, I'll give it to my long-winded friend Larry. But before I give it to Larry, let me just remind everybody: be sure to subscribe to all 3 of these channels. You get fired. You got me, you got Larry, you got the first lady of reviews, the youngest in the game, Sharonda. And programming note Wednesday, we will have my guy, E-Man, coming back to the channel to cleanse my dirty channel. I've used too many cuss words, and he comes up here to cleanse it and tell us what's going on in Hollywood. So now, Larry, your turn. Give me 2 minutes on what you thought about Power, then we'll break it down.
Well, first, let me address Sharonda. So, you know, when someone doesn't like something, but they don't want to get in trouble for saying it, so they just say, it's cool, or they say, it's all right. In other words, it's all right.
It's cool. Like, I need more episodes. Like, I said in my review, I need a couple more episodes before I can make an informed decision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
Larry, jump on in there, Larry, because I've got some good questions I'm going to ask both of y'all, especially Larry, because I know everybody wants to know who's Larry's love interest going to be this season since old forehead Ramona is not in it. I know they want to know who's your new love interest. Now, I will say this about the cast. This is a beautiful cast, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, there's some hotties in this cast, men and women. But Larry, let us know what you're thinking.
Well, one thing I will say is they showed little clips of everybody seemed to be coming back when they showed, some of the previews for the coming episodes. I don't know why they couldn't show Ramona. I mean, they showed Congressman Tate. There's word that maybe Tommy's going to show up at the funeral. We've seen a bunch of folks. We've seen Tasha. I don't know why they just can't show Ramona. Why can't she come through?
Man,
get
on with it, man. Damn it, just get the Ramona. Well, Ramona is not coming back unless you see her in one of your wet dreams. So just get on with it, man.
We don't know that. We don't know. For all we know, she may see the potential in Tariq the way she saw it in Ghost, and she's like, I'm just gonna go from one ghost to the other. This one's gonna have a little bit longer shelf life.
That lets you know that she can't be trusted. She doesn't make good judgments, okay?
Here we go.
I'm with Sharonda on that one.
You look like Ramona Raggedy behind. Just,
I'll tell you this.
Just gullible. You look like her.
Oh, here we go. I will tell you this. Now that they're all in college, I feel good because now it's safe for me to look at Effie. Yeah.
And she looked pretty good. She looked good yesterday, too.
She did. She was looking extra cute like a little round-the-way girl. She looked like she should have been in a 1994 LL Cool J video. She was looking nice.
Round-the-way girl.
Huh?
Not a round-the-way girl.
Why not? What's wrong with a round-the-way girl?
I'm glad that y'all talking about all these beautiful people, but where are the dark-skinned women? I saw all exotic-looking chicks the whole episode.
No, the counselor was dark skinned.
The counselor and Diana. The counselor and Diana.
No. What? I said dark skin.
Wait, which one's Diana?
Diana was one. Diana is Mary J. Blige's character's daughter. She's not dark skinned enough for you?
No.
Okay.
I want a blackity black.
Look,
Not
it don't get it don't get no darker than me. And
Black.
I'm the blackest one on this screen that we looking at. And
Man,
I seen two people up there that was my complexion. You
Who?
had both of the professors. You had Professor Milgram.
That is a lie. The professor is like another version of Cat Graham. No.
What about the dude?
what about Tasha?
Yeah, what about Tasha? Huh?
Tasha the only one. Y'all brought all these new people and ain't nobody dark skinned. I'm sick of it.
The counselor's dark skin, Tasha's dark skin. The little girl that Tariq's interested in is dark skin.
Mary J. Blige
is in there.
Mary J. Blige is kind of
Mary J. Blige is Mary J. Blige
dark.
She's definitely
dark. Yeah.
I said blackity black. Not no hazel eyes. Not no pearl patterns going on. Like Tasha's the only black person. These are beautiful, exotic, mixed looking, racially ambiguous, good enough for black, but not really black looking people. Stop it!
What?
Stop it!
What? Come on, man. You can't go in on black folks like that. We come in all shades and colors and textures.
We only come in the exotic, light skin, hazel eye, curly hair. No. I want more.
I feel her on her point. But I felt like Diana was dark. I felt like the professor was dark. Mary J. Blige is dark. Tasha is dark. And Tamika.
What about Ramona?
Tamika.
What about Ramona?
Ramona, light skin, man. She the color of the back of my head. And Tamika is dark skin.
Her soul's a little dark.
I want love interests, main characters to be dark.
You don't think the little girl Tariq was peeping out was dark enough?
They made it a point to say that she's black and Puerto Rican. So
yeah, they did do that, Larry.
They made
it means that she's double black because Puerto Rican's already black.
Oh, God. Larry, give me your
synopsis. She's double black. And there you go, black and black.
Larry, we have a show to do, and I need you to stay on mission. We're gonna come back to her point. Give me your minute synopsis of the episode.
Hold on, I'm going to put my M&Ms down for this one.
Are they dark chocolate M&Ms?
Yeah, and I had to put my M&Ms down for this one because Sharona says she wants someone blackity black. The little dark-skinned girl that Tariq's interested in is black mixed with Puerto Rican. And since Puerto Rican's already black, she's blackity black. She qualifies as blackity black.
That's fine. Y'all can say I'm doing the most on this, but it might seem like I'm doing the most even for it to be power. But for the hours of television that I have to consume every week, the movies I have to consume, and I continuously see women, and everyone on Powerful is beautiful, okay? But I'm tired of seeing the same looking women. Like, I don't think people realize you keep watching that stuff over and over again, it starts to get ingrained in people's heads. So, like, not every black person is mixed with another culture. There are people who are just black, and that's okay. But I think that we need to see people who look like us on the screen. And every time I'm watching a show, her mama white, her daddy black, her mama black, or her daddy Puerto Rican. It's always something else instead of somebody just being black. Is that too much to ask for? Like, we exist. I know my black ass mama exists and my black ass daddy. So I'm just saying, like, I want to see more of that because it's really becoming a problem.
Now, so let me ask you this, Sharona. Do you feel like Power overdone it by trying to force too much diversity because they've got black, they got Puerto Rican, they've got Hispanic, they've got white, or do you feel like you just go ahead?
I don't think there's anything wrong with diversity. I like that they're actually showing an Afro-Latina. Like, they act like Afro-Latinas or Afro-Latino that they don't exist either. That there's a part of a black heritage built into like the Hispanic, the Latinx community. But what I'm saying is, it's just starting to I'm just starting to feel like every person is starting to just look the same, and that's just my problem. Like you just see it everywhere, and it's just like there are other types of Black women that exist. And it's almost, I think it's just hard enough going through life and how they show that, you know, Black women are always the least desirable, and how they're trying to push it through the media that they have to look like this. Everyone has to be mixed with something else to be considered this beautiful Black woman. And I just want, especially when it shows that are ran by people like us, I expect more. This ain't like it's a show ran by white people. So
you want to see some dark-skinned FBAs on there? I'm just saying.
Now here's the thing. I'm
not going to argue with you because if I made that same argument, people would have stepped all over me because I've made it before.
You made the same argument last week. I
make that argument all the time. So I was just keeping quiet so that you could say it. That way people can hear it.
No, people heard it last week.
Don't hear it.
People heard it last week when you made the same exact argument, and you basically tried to say that Angela, who was light, was a Puerto Rican, so that made her Black. And this falls right in line with what we're talking about today. But great, I agree with Sharonda. I'm all about the diversity and all that, but I'm also about showing the darker shades too, because I know what she's saying is true. You've seen it from the hip hop videos from back when we was kids all the way to now, and they're still slowly, very slowly trying to integrate. But Larry, tell us about how you feel about the story.
You know, I was actually a little surprised because I was fully expecting, and as I've mentioned before, I was fully expecting and willing to hate on this entire show because I didn't like Tariq. And I was pleasantly surprised that the story was actually quite good. I mean, from what I saw, it seemed like the story is shaping up. They did a good enough job of really bringing in some of the elements that we really liked from Power and putting those right into here. It was almost like there was not really a big gap. It was just sort of like, okay, you like this? Cool. We're going to toss that in there, and now we're just going to roll with it. I will say one thing, though. Tariq needs to join the doggone track club.
Right.
Track team. Everywhere he was going, he was running. I was like, every time he left the house, oh, snap, I'm late. And he's running. Oh, snap, I got an appointment. And he's running. I'm like, bro, you need to hit the track team or something. But, I mean, it was pretty good. I still feel like I feel like Method Man, and I've seen him in enough stuff. I feel like the bruh needs to go take some more acting classes. He's been in there for long enough. I feel like his performances just fall a little flat. I mean, I don't some people, when you see them on screen, you're like, oh, that's so-and-so. And then a couple moments in, you forget who you're watching because you're engrossed in their character. I never feel like I fully get away from Method Man. You know, I always feel like I'm still watching Method Man. And I would really like with Mary J. Blige. I understand it's Mary J. Blige, but it wasn't but a hot second before I forgot that it was Mary J. Blige. And I felt I was just watching her character. I didn't get that same feeling with Method Man. So, and not to say that he's a terrible actor. I just, maybe he just needs to go, let loose. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he just needs to be loose, let go of it a little bit more. I feel like he's always holding back.
Okay. So Sharonda, how did you feel about the characters acting? Well, let me just narrow it down. How did you feel about Method Man and Mary J. Blige's acting acumen yesterday?
I would tell Larry that he should watch Teenage Bounty Hunters on Netflix because Method Man is actually in that. He's actually really
in my queue, actually. It's in my queue.
Yeah, I would definitely tell you to watch that. I like Method Man. I do. I'm more on the subtle things. Like, I want them to do his wardrobe up a little bit more. Like, if you're supposed to be like, if you asking people for a $500,000 deposit up front, I need you to look like you have to have money to even be amongst my presence. And I needed them to like kind of, do stuff like that. Just little subtle things. I love Mary J. Blige's character and also too Woody Harris. They are actually the most compelling characters for me that made me enjoy the episode. Just because I wanted to know about their story arc. And I almost feel like for me, I felt like Power Book 2 should have started off with a slight time jump. Like, I think that they're relying too much on the original core of Power Like, why are we going to Jamie's funeral next week? Like, why are we going to his funeral? Why are we still wasting time on this Tasha storyline? Her going back and forth. Like, her character doesn't even seem like the typical Tasha. Like, this is Tasha who literally taught Jamie how to run his entire business, who came up with all the ideas to get them out of trouble. And now she can't even give the right informant's name. Like, she can't even give the right accomplices' names. It's like, I just think that they should have did away with most of the original cast, because now they're just acting out of character at this point.
Do you feel like they kept, now this is what I'm hearing from people commenting on my videos. A lot of people feel like Tasha being in jail is the glue that's holding them connected to last season. And me and Larry both said that if they made this story good enough, people was going to watch it, because people kept right on saying, I'm not going to watch it because Ghost ain't on it. And we told them that they're missing out because people change actors left and right. It's the storyline, the narratives that keep the story going. So having said that, do you
Ghost
feel...
is on it, though. Ghost is on it. That's what they keep messing up with. Ghost is on it. Ghost is just no longer James St. Patrick. That's all that it is, but we still have Ghost.
Yeah. Do you feel like they was afraid to time jump because they might lose some of the original people that like the show?
I think they were, and I think that's one of the things that's holding the show back. I think that we're still way too close to where we just left off with Powers. So it's almost like you can't even, it's like you're going to continue to compare the two because it's literally dealing with the same storyline. And so, when we're looking at, like, they went into the backstory of Sack's family. I don't give a damn about Sack's family. Like, why are we
Wait. Now, they called the man Nancy. What was that about, Sharonda and Larry? Why the hell he Nancy? Can somebody tell? I have my theory, but I want to hear what y'all think about Nancy Sack.
I mean, Nancy, calling someone a Nancy is just a slang term for saying that a dude is weak or a girl or a sissy or something like that. It's just like, it's like if you were about to go jump off of a cliff into some water and a dude's scared, you would say, "Man, quit being a Nancy, jump." Okay. Or just saying, "You stop acting like a Nancy."
He's an F-up. Like, he's the kid that embarrasses the family, and that's why he does all of this to try to win his family's approval, their worth. But I don't care about Sax to really go, like, I don't care about Sax. I would rather y'all deep dive into Tamika's backstory than me trying to worry about what Raggedy Sax got going on with his family. I don't care.
I feel you in the way that they did it. I have to say, I wasn't disinterested in his family, but it seemed like we didn't need to know about it yet. But it's clear from the way that they're focusing in on his character that he's going to be a much more integral part of the story than he was before. Like in the past, he was sort of a player on the, just on the outskirts of the story. He was there, he was present, he had his times where he was necessary. Whereas I feel like now he's going to be an integral part of the story. So I'm assuming that they're telling us more about him, so we understand his motivations and stuff more when we see him on screen. We can understand him a little bit better.
And I think that his family is going to play a role in the story too. They didn't show that interaction between him and his younger brother for nothing.
Right. I mean, I just felt like for the first episode, I don't care. Like, and I guess for you guys, did you like the fact that they brought his roommate from Coates?
No, I didn't. I don't know. It looks to me like they're going to try to turn Tariq and Braden into Ghost and Tommy, but Braden has got a whole lot of growing to do.
You're talking about the basketball player?
No, remember his friend
Braden.
Oh yeah.
Braden is his friend.
When are we gonna meet little dude from Shameless? When's he coming through?
He's not going to be up here. He's on the prequel with Raising Kanan.
Oh, right. Okay.
I just felt like I think my biggest gripe with the premiere, which I actually enjoyed a lot more than I thought I was going to, is I felt like the show teetered between trying to be more lighthearted. Mm-hmm. It was like with Tariq's interactions, it was lighthearted. Like, even if you listen to like kind of the background music that they played during Tariq, like running back and forth to school and stuff and interacting with people at school. It tried to make it like this lighthearted teenage drama.
Yeah.
And you have characters like Mary J. and Woody,
Method
like
Man. Yeah.
they're characters that make the show darker. So it feels like it's just conflicting. Like, I don't know. I feel like Tariq was more hard.
I think that was very intentional, though, because I think they want to soften up Tariq, because I think so many of us hated him in Power. I think they're doing that to try and endear him to us a bit so that we like him a little bit more. Because he's not, I don't think in this series he's going to be such the a-hole that he was before. I don't think he's going to be the person that we're supposed to dislike. And in the last series, he was, whether they intended to or not, many of us just did not like him at all, to the point many of us were wishing something bad would happen to him. I think they're going for the exact opposite approach in this. And so I think that all that is intentional. I think the music, you know, the way they're the tone and the pacing that they're doing when he's on screen, I think it's all designed to make us like him a little bit more. At the very least, not dislike. You know, they don't want us to dislike him.
Right. Yeah, it's just conflicting. I think it messes up the tone. This tone of the show feels off at times. Like it teeters back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And it was never like that on Power. It was a very serious, like the stakes were always high, no matter what they were doing.
I feel like
the stakes are still high here. I mean, dudes up there hustling straight up trying to,
I mean, what stakes were high?
I mean, he's trying to get his moms up out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty high stakes if you're a mama's boy who loves your mom and she's locked up and she's telling you to go live your life. His thing is, I'm trying to get you out.
And he still wants to be a dope boy. And she taught him the game. And I think that it seems to me like they're going to drag this Tasha in jail thing out.
It does.
They might drag it out to the end of the year and set it up so that when she does get out, it could put Tariq in the middle between her and Mary J. Blige, because it looks like Tariq is going to wind up getting in bed with Mary J. Blige and that family. And then when Tasha gets out of jail, his new mama is probably going to clash with his real mama about who's going to help him run his life in this drug cartel, which is setting up for probably could be a big narrative, I think. Along with the Tariq love triangle, are we going to finally see a threesome with Tariq, Sharonda, and Larry?
I'm not going to be in a love triangle with him.
That's a Larry question.
You said they're going to be a love triangle with Tariq, Larry, and Sharonda? No,
man, no, not with y'all in it, man. No,
like that.
No, with Diana and Lauren, are we going to see them in bed together, or are we going to catch them fighting each other? Not saying y'all about to jump in bed.
Why y'all no. Effie out? Effie trying to get her cheeks.
Well, that's what I would say. Effie's trying to get it. I'm thinking that
love interest.
Yeah, he might have to forget a threesome. He might have to go and become he might have to go with that HBO Big Love style. He might have to buy 3 houses all back to back.
Well, here's
a little bit too much too. I'm like, girl, you don't be caping for all your students like the way you caping for Tariq. What you care? What you care for?
Now, speaking of that professor, the
she wants to catch it through. She wants to catch it through.
What is going to be the story with that professor and her ex-boyfriend or husband or whoever he is?
Jabari.
Yeah, Jabari.
I just want to say it like that.
Well, what's going to be the story with them? How are they going to get into trouble in this series? So, number one, they've had a relationship together. They fraternized, and that's not nothing you should be doing when you work together in that manner. What is going to be the twist that's going to pull them either in trouble or back together?
He's going to try and get rid of Tariq, because Tariq and that professor are about to hook up about midway through the season.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're going to work together on a project, and she's going to say something slick, and Tariq's going to say the right thing, and next thing you know, she's going to be looking all googly-eyed at him, and it's going to happen.
Man.
I'm just telling you. Keep calling me out. I keep saying crazy theories, and they keep coming true.
I think they go kiss, smash something.
What? You believe it too?
See?
No.
Why would you keep it for Tariq so hard? Like, you just met the kid.
Because she knows his daddy was James St. Patrick running for lieutenant governor.
But his daddy rich. They acted like Tariq came from the slums of like New York City and was just passing hard life.
No, Y'all missed it. Tariq is suffering psychologically and emotionally. He was in the limelight. He was in the limelight because his father was about to become the lieutenant governor of the state of New York. And then his dad tragically died. They don't know Tariq did it. They think Tariq is just this poor, sad.
You sound like the teacher.
I sound like who?
You sound like the teacher. You sound brainwashed too. This is
that's the point I'm making. I'm supporting my own argument. I'm making my damn argument. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm with Terrence Walton on here. I'm with Terrence in the comments. He said entanglements.
Yeah, entanglement. Entanglement. Now, if
y'all feel like he got this side story, let me tell you something. He got this little rich, raggedy white man, Simon, one of their number one boosters, who got into school, and they got some underhanded, dirty deal about him helping this dude pass class, like pass
Ezekiel.
School.
The athlete, you know that's something that go on in a lot of college campuses. I mean, just real talk. So that we can get beyond power, let me summarize it with this. Do y'all think there's any truth that Effie is connected to Simon Stearns?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I would say no.
But I think Effie's connections go deeper than we know.
Mm-hmm. Every time y'all say Effie, I'll be like, Curtis was supposed to love me.
My Lord.
Why y'all get that girl named Effie? What girl in 2020 named Effie? Effie. Come on now. Come on.
Well, it's got to start with somebody who can make that name stick. And having said that, ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Let me get my theory.
Go. Oh, Lord. Do I need to take my headphones off? I'm nervous.
No. Lamont. I think Effie is a serious player in this game. And if she's not, her peoples are. Because when Tariq took that dope from her, and she said, "You gonna pay me?" And he just said, I forgot what he said. He said something smart and rolled off. I don't know too many people that are just gonna let somebody just roll off after they just ganked you for your dope. So I think she's
her connect though. Do you think Kane is her connect? You think I think Kane is her connect.
Kanan or Kane?
Kane.
It could be. We've never seen her connect.
Could be.
I
think her situation is so serious that she can afford to go ahead and float that for Tariq and not be a big deal.
Yeah,
for that. I was like, girl.
But she gave it to him. Probably they wanted us to assume because of the way she done Tariq dirty last year by ratting on him to kill the competition, and she slightly liked Tariq.
They like him and still got him fail. So I don't understand. You can still like him and get your dang on money.
Well, it's like this. When I liked my wife when I first met her, I paid for the first date. I didn't say Crystal whip out your money. I liked her so much that I paid for that first date instead of us running up out of the restaurant. And that's what Effie just did. She paid for the first date. Simple as that.
No, that's the equivalent of somebody, if you go on a date with your wife, she steals your car, and then you say, "Don't worry, babe, I'll buy another one."
You can't steal the Tesla, baby. She would have stole the Tesla, man. I had to clap them.
He just walked away with $50,000 worth of dope.
How you know it was $50,000?
Because he gave you 10%. He gave him 10%. He said he wanted $500,000. He came back with 10%. So, I mean, you just don't let somebody walk away with $50,000 worth of dope unless you are seriously big time, and it's not even gonna pinch your pocket a little bit.
So I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
But you said big time, and the girl was talking about she couldn't even afford her dang on books. How's she big time? She couldn't even pay for books for school.
She can afford her books. That's what Effie wants to be. I think she wants to play that role.
Yeah, well,
it's a big difference too. When you make that kind of money, you can't just walk into the bursar's office and pay cash. They're gonna be like, "How you have all this money?"
No, you can't do that.
People don't get their money.
Yeah, you got to let somebody wash all that money. So